Welcome to Ninerology, Faithful in the Trenches. I'm your host, Alan, and it is Super Bowl Eve. Super Bowl Eve. What does that mean? That means all the hype is out the window. All the media week out the window. All the poster board material out the window. Tomorrow, it is team versus team, best on best. Shanahan versus Andy Reid. Brock Purdy versus Patrick Mahomes. Mr. Irrelevant versus Mr. Superstar. And we're going to see who's got their stuff, who's going to show up, who wants it the most. And I can't tell you enough, but I am super pumped. I think this is going to be a great game. And we just want to break down a few things. What are some of the key takeaways? Who are two impact players that you may not even be thinking about? And what is our prediction? Now, first off, key takeaways. I think one of the biggest things is the Kansas City rushing offense versus the 49ers rushing defense. As of late, the 49ers rushing defense has been atrocious. Talking about world bad, like terrible, against the Packers, against Detroit, and they were called out. They were called out on their effort. Now, we could talk more about effort, but we're not here to talk about that because it is the Super Bowl. There is zero excuses. There are zero excuses to have any effort be questioned in this game. You need to be going all out like this is your last play. You might be on the field for 60 plays, 70 plays, 80 plays, 90 plays defense. It doesn't matter. Do not take breaks. Go all out. Don't pace yourself. This is the Super Bowl. This is where heroes and legends are made, and this is your time to shine. So, 49ers defense, if you are listening to me, this is your time right here. Not somebody else's time. When you think somebody else is going to make the tackle, bad things happen. It's time for you to make those plays. Niners defense, time to step up because the key to this game is you need to stop the Kansas City Chiefs rushing game. The next key to the game is Chris Jones. 49ers, what is your plan for Chris Jones? What is your plan for him? He is a game wrecker. I think he's already leaped Aaron Donald to be the number one defensive tackle in the entire NFL. We saw what he did against the Baltimore Ravens. He completely controlled that line of scrimmage. So the question is, Kyle Shanahan, what do you have dialed up for Chris Jones? And that's what we need to do. Brock Purdy, you know you're going to get a bunch of things thrown at you. You're going to get a bunch of disguised coverages. So what are you going to do? Are you going to try to force it or are you going to stay within the system? Use your legs. We know that you have that. You've shown that the past couple of playoffs. It's time to use those legs and throw off Spags. It's time to go ahead and show everybody that you are not Mr. Irrelevant. You are a game changer. You are a game changer, and this is where you get to show that on the national stage. And you know what? What better way to do it by wearing number 13 and doing it to somebody else whose favorite number is 13, and we won't go into who that is. But this is your time to shine, Brock Purdy. Now let's talk about the two biggest impact players for this specific game that you might not be thinking about. The very first one is Colton McKivitz. We know that Chris Jones likes to line up on that side. I think it's going to be a huge game for Colton. We're going to see what he can do against Chris Jones. He's going to need help. Kyle Shanahan, you're going to need to give him help, but I think the 49ers' offensive success is going to be based on how well does McKivitz hold up against this Chiefs pass rush. We know that Trent Williams is going to do what he does, but Kyle Shanahan, are you going to be able to scheme up ways to get Chris Jones out of this game? He cannot be the one that wrecks the game, so you got to control that. Can you stick to running the ball, and can you keep McKivitz clean and not where he's on an island on his own against Chris Jones? You got to have a plan for that. And the second person that I have is Javon Kinlaw. Javon Kinlaw, I think, needs to have a game right here. We know that the interior of the Chiefs' O-line is a little bit banged up, but we know that everyone's going to have their eyes on Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, Nick Bosa, Chase Young. I think there's going to be several occasions where the 49ers are going to have 5 defensive linemen on the front to help stop that run, and I think Javon Kinlaw needs to step up in this game. We know he has the strength. We know that pad level has been an issue for him, but he's been showing up as of late. This is your time to shine, Kinlaw. You are on a contract year. You want to make a name for yourself. You want to get that extension. This is where you do that. This is where those heroes and legends are made, and this is your time to shine. Now, with that said, it's time for our game predictions. And I think over the past 13 years, 29 years, the 49ers have had a lot of turmoil, a lot of heartbreak. You talk about 2 Super Bowls that were both lost at the end in the fourth quarter. You talk about 3 NFC championships, 3 under Jim Harbaugh, 3 under Kyle Shanahan, 4 under Kyle Shanahan, 2 Super Bowl appearances. I think it's time. It is time Kyle, it is time. And I'm going to show that right now in my predictions. Last time the Chiefs and 49ers played, the 49ers lost 31-20. Now, in my initial prediction, I had the 49ers beating the Chiefs 31-20 and returning the favor with the exact same score. But because I'm fond of Mr. Brock Purdy number 13, we're going to keep that trend of 13. And we're going to say that the final score is going to be 49ers 33, Kansas City Chiefs 20. I think it's going to be close at the beginning, and I think the 49ers defense, who hasn't played a full game all year, is going to show up. I think they're going to show up. They're going to do some confusing things to Patrick Mahomes. I'm predicting Mahomes throws at least 2 picks, 2 interceptions. I think it's going to be a big game for Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. I'm expecting George Kittle to go off for 2 touchdowns, that they're going to use him big in this game. And I think Kyle Shanahan's had that in his back pocket. He knew that it was going to come down to this. He always knew that the Chiefs would be a possibility and that George Kittle would help to set that tone. I think Brock Purdy is going to be the MVP of this game, big 1-3. And I think there's going to be a lot of silenced people. He's still going to have his doubters. He's probably going to have to win 2 in a row to help silence those critics. But you know what? This is going to be a great start because he's going to get the MVP, and the 49ers are going to win this game convincingly 33-20. And that's all we got for you. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button to get all future content from Ninerology, and we'll see you after the Super Bowl.